Hello dear students, today we are going to study together Unit 11 Lesson 1 entitled Communication. Do you use the internet? What do you use it for? And what are your favorite websites? Personally, I use the internet for many reasons. I use it to search for information using Google. I also use it for entertainment, so I mainly use YouTube to watch movies and series. What about you? Do you use the internet to communicate with your friends, for example? Do you use Facebook or Twitter to keep in touch with them? Or do you use the internet for online shopping, for example? If so, then you must be familiar with websites like Amazon, or eBay. Or could it be that you use the internet and visit websites like Spotify to download music, or internet sites like Netflix to watch movies? The possibilities of the internet are limitless. Now we are going to study together some internet-related words. We'll start with the word connection. Please repeat after me. Connection, connection, connection. Connection is a noun which means bond, link, or relation. It can also mean signal. For example, the connection here is bad. It means the signal here is bad. I can't make a phone call because the signal, the connection is terrible. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Communicate is a verb which means to keep in touch with someone, share information, news, or ideas. For example, you communicate with your family members or your friends or your colleagues using email, via WhatsApp. You communicate with them, it means you keep in touch with them. Socialize with, socialize with, socialize with. Socialize with means to be able to participate in social activities, interact, or mix socially. Socialize with. Keep in touch, keep in touch, keep in touch. Keep in touch is a phrase which means to communicate with people or contact. Let's keep in touch means let's communicate, for example, using WhatsApp. I'll keep in touch with you. Communicate means to keep in touch. Download, download. You download a video and the opposite is upload. Delete a message, delete a message. Surf the net, surf the net. Surf the net means to search the internet for information, search in the internet for information about a certain thing. Surf the net. Website, website. Website is a noun which means a set of information on the internet about a particular subject. For example, people visit the website of Netflix to watch movies and series. Website. Look for. Look for. Look for is a phrasal verb which means search. People surf the internet to look for information. Look for. Survey. 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 Survey is a noun which means general view or opinion that is known through asking certain questions to some people. For example, here we have a survey about the employees' opinion or general view on remote work. How was this survey done? It was done by asking the employees in the company certain questions, and the findings are represented in statistics, in numbers and figures. Survey. Professor, professor, professor. Professor is a noun which means a teacher of a high rank who teaches at a university. A professor is a teacher who teaches at a university. Professor. Drawback, drawback. Drawback is a noun which means a disadvantage and the opposite is advantage. So another word for drawback is disadvantage or cons. The opposite is advantage or pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages, advantages and drawbacks. What are the drawbacks of the internet? For For example, it wastes your time if you surf the net for long hours. It's bad for your eyesight when you look at screens for long hours. Drawback. Provide, provide, provide. Provide is a verb which means to give or make it available. The company provides a service for its users, for example. Provide, it makes it available to them. Rely on, rely on. Rely on is a verb which means to depend on. For example, many internet users rely on Google as their source of information. Rely on, they depend on it. Book, book. Book here is a verb which means to reserve. For example, you book a flight. You book a table in a restaurant. It means you reserve. I would like to book a flight for New York, for example. I would like to book a table for two at your restaurant. Means to reserve. Create, create, create. Create is a verb which means to invent or design. Find out, find out, find out. Find out is a phrasal verb which means to discover new information about something. Find out. Pay for, pay for. Pay for is a verb which means to pay money for a product or any other service introduced or served. For example, would you like to pay for this product, for example, in cash or by your credit card, using your credit card? Pay for. Bank card. Bank card is a noun which means debit card or credit card. Charge, charge, charge. Charge is a noun which means a price asked for goods which are or were bought or services. For example, the minimum charge in this restaurant is, let's say, £10. It's required for all credit cards purchases. Charge means a price asked for something you buy. Worth, worth. Worth is an adjective which means good or important. It also means value. What is the value, the worth of this book, for example? Is it worth it to go to the trouble of traveling around the world? Does it have a value? Is it good? Is it important? Worth. Cheap. Cheap is an adjective. The opposite is expensive. Imaginable. Imaginable. Imaginable is an adjective which means possible to be thought about or believed. You can find anything imaginable on the internet. Anything you can think of on the internet. Imaginable. Weather. Weather. Please pay extra attention to the spelling of weather. W-H-E-T-H-E-R. It's not the weather, the climate. Weather here is a conjunction used to express a choice between two. I was wondering whether to eat an apple or a cupcake. This or that. It's a conjunction to express a choice. I'm choosing between two things here, the apple and the cupcake. Whether, it's a conjunction. Regularly, regularly, regularly. It's an adverb which means often. Now we are going to read together Jake's project about the internet. Read Jake's project about the internet. Which website does he mention? In Touch with the World. John Allen Paulus, a Greek-American professor, we said professor is a teacher at university. He is a professor of mathematics, once said that the internet or the World Wide Web, so www stands for what? It stands for World Wide Web, was the world's largest library, but that all the books were on the floor. What does that mean, all the books on the floor? In other words, it's full of information, but it can be difficult to find exactly what you're looking for. It's so true. The internet has a lot of resources and a lot of information. It's, as this professor said, it's the world's largest library. but it's so hard to find what you want, what you're looking for in this plethora of information. The internet has another drawback too. So this is one of the drawbacks, one of the disadvantages, one of the cons of the internet, that you can't find what you're looking for in the internet because it's full of information. Anyone can create a website, which means you can find websites about every subject imaginable. Unfortunately, it also means that a lot of what is written on them is not true. So this is another drawback of the internet. Not everything you read online is true, because anyone can create a website. The World Wide Web provides more than just information, however. There are sites where you can download music and films for a small charge, for a small price. Other sites allow you to keep in touch with your family, as we said, like Facebook and Twitter. You can book holidays anywhere in the world, and there are some great online shops. On eBay, for example, people sell used clothes, CDs, and even cars very cheaply. Are you familiar with eBay? It's a website for used items, second-hand items. This is why they are very cheap. So here the author, or Jake, is talking about the advantages of the internet. He started with the disadvantages. He said that anyone can create a website. This is why you can't trust anything you read online, and you can't find what you're looking for because the internet is full of information. But now he's talking about the advantages, which are that you can download music and films for a small charge. You can keep in touch with your family using the internet. You can book holidays anywhere in the world without having to go to the travel agency, for example. And you can buy things online at a very cheap price, for example, on eBay. The internet has changed the way we work and communicate, but we shouldn't rely on it too much. Why shouldn't we rely or depend on the internet so much if it's changed the way we work and communicate? Because of its size, it's very difficult to control. And a lot of the information it contains isn't worth reading. As we said, everyone can create a website, and you don't have to really read every single piece of news on the internet. So you can't rely on the internet too much because of its size, as it contains the information it contains isn't worth reading. Some people also fear that surfing the internet has taken the place of other healthier activities, especially for young people. So here, Jake is talking about one of the drawbacks of the internet, that it affected our social life. Surfing the internet has taken the place of other healthier activities. Whether you love it or hate it, though, you'd better get used to it because it's definitely here to stay. It here refers to the internet. I here is Jake. I carried out a survey in my class to find out how people of my age use the internet. Why did Jake carry a survey? To discover how people of his age use the internet. So how did he conduct this survey? By asking his classmates questions. And what were the findings of his survey? He says that his classmates, their main use of the internet is searching for information. 80% of the people in my class said they used it regularly, often, to help them with their homework. 70% said they used it to keep in touch with their friends, to communicate with their friends. 50% said they had downloaded music from the internet. Only 30% said they had bought something online, however. The problem for kids is that you need a bank card to pay for things. This is why the percentage of his classmates using the internet for online shopping was so low, because kids need a bank card to pay for things. 10% said they couldn't use the internet very often because they didn't have an internet connection at home. Now let's check your comprehension of the text. Choose the correct answer. 1. What does John Allen Paulus say about the internet? Most of the information it has is from books, or you can't easily find what you want on it. The answer is B. It can be difficult to find exactly what you're looking for. 2. Jake says a big problem with the internet is that A. The information on it is sometimes false. B. It covers too many subjects. The answer is A. Jake says a big problem with the internet is that the information on it is sometimes false. Remember in the text it was mentioned that unfortunately it also means that a lot of what is written on them is not true because anyone can create a website. 3. What is true about getting music from the internet? A. It's not always free. B. New CDs are very cheap. The answer is A. Because you can download music either for free or for a small charge. So it's not always free. Sometimes they have a price. The CDs. 4. According to Jake, young people A. all prefer one website or B. often use the internet for their schoolwork. The answer is B. According to Jake, young people often use the internet for their schoolwork. He mentioned how people of his age use the internet, and he said that 80% of the people in his class said they used it regularly to help them with their homework. 5. Internet shopping isn't popular with children. A. Because they haven't got much money, or B. because of the way things are paid for. The answer is B. Internet shopping isn't popular with children because of the way things are paid for. He said that the problem for kids is that you need a credit card to pay for things. Vocabulary. Complete the sentences with these words: card, charge, connection, drawback, and survey. 1. What is the for using the internet at that cafe? What is the charge? What is the price for using the internet at that cafe? 2. This what says that 80% of teenagers have got mobile phones. What did we say have statistics and figures and numbers in it? It is survey. Excellent. This survey says that 80% of teenagers have got mobile phones. 3. The big what of sending letters by post is that it's slow. The big drawback, the big disadvantage of sending letters by post is that it is slow. 4. I pay £25 a month for my internet connection. Excellent. If you are a member or you have a subscription for internet connection at TE Data, you have to pay money for it monthly. 5. A bank what is useful for paying for shopping online. A bank card is useful for paying shopping online. Thank you.